What is a retreat? In my previous role in campus ministry, all co-workers and support staff gathered annually for a week at Sandy Cove Conference Center. While work-related training was necessary, a good portion of the time was for spiritual nourishment, mutual encouragement, and family time. The reasoning given was the feasts and holy days prescribed for Israel in the Bible. Professor Van de Poel of the Evangelical Theology faculty in Belgium highlights their significance. The feasts and holy day gatherings were an extension of the Sabbath. The fourth of the 10 Commandments regulated the stopping of normal work to gather and worship God and serve one another. The 7-day feasts, celebrated twice a year, along with other gatherings, included functions of worship, education, and community in a place that God determined. For worship, the people assembled to appear before their God, praise and thank Him, to pray, to confess their sins and ask for forgiveness, to bring sacrifices of various kinds, and to hear His word. The gatherings maintained a covenant relationship with God and, if need be, restored the covenant relationship. The educational function was realized through the story of each festival passed on from generation to generation to nurture faith. For example, the Feast of Booths involved living in a temporary shelter for 7 days. It was a demonstration of God's rescue of Israel from Egypt and the 40 years of living in temporary shelters, booths, or tents. The community function was fulfilled through taking care of widows and orphans and restoring their property. Even as the people celebrate the fact that God takes care of them, they were also called to take care of each other as a people, to recommit to others and be a community. In God's prescription of the Feast of Booths and Weeks, Deuteronomy 16, both celebrations were to include slaves, widows, orphans, and even foreigners. The significance of these feasts and gatherings is reflected in Rabbi Abraham Heschel, one of the leading Jewish theologians of the 20th century. Whereas other religions build great cathedrals or temples, Judaism constructs the Sabbath as an architecture of time. Their identity as God's people, more than temples and even the city of Jerusalem, was time spent together in these gatherings. St. Augustine, Bishop of Hippo of the 4th century, commenting on Leviticus 23 and John 8:34, said, "The Sabbath was given to the Jews to be observed literally, like other things, as rites symbolically signifying something deeper. A particular kind of vacation, you see, was enjoined on them. Take care to carry out what that vacation signifies. A spiritual vacation, I mean, is tranquility of heart, but tranquility of heart issues from the serenity of a good conscience. A spiritual vacation with a tranquil, peaceful heart. What I would give for such a vacation! This is better than Verbo. To vacation not as a burden or a duty commanded, but with the serenity of a good conscience." How is such serenity, peace of mind and heart, be possible in order to enjoy the Sabbath and extensions of the Sabbath? By trusting in Jesus, who has done the major preparation for spiritual vacation. He is the ultimate tent tabernacle that the Feast of Booths was pointing to, for God the Son came to dwell with us. Jesus, the firstborn of creation, and firstborn from the dead, is truly the goat, firstfruit, and manna that God gives to us. As a lamb that was slain, He fulfills the day of atonement for us. Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath, Lord of the feast, the one-man party planning committee. He's the reason why we can stop normal work for material salvation, to stop trusting in our moral work for our salvation, and to have peace with God and experience tranquility. And we can vacation with people, family and soon-to-be family, with no other agenda than to encourage and be encouraged by Jesus' good news. For He brings us to His banqueting table, and His banner over us is love. As we have thoughtfully set aside time and money to benefit from personal vacations, people of the New Covenant will benefit from a particular kind of vacation for spiritual gospel renewal. Let's prepare finances and prepare food to travel and gather in the place God designates, to hear from God, to worship Him, and be His people. For that is a retreat, a Wellspring retreat.